Well, guess who's feeding the ducks? Are they hungry ducks?
Very hungry little ducks.
Oh, where did you go in?
The white ones over there aren't very hungry.
Aren't they? They're geese, aren't they? Or is it geese on shore? Chrysanth.
There's Daddy up there. All the bread left.
Hop in there. Hop in there. Okay, mate.
That's enough.
You like those backies?
Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. We haven't got any bread left, Rachel.
Show Chrysanth those ducks in the sun, Trish.
Let's walk over here and say hello, Jim and Mark.
That's right.
Hang on, it's all right. I've got to get it focused. Brendan.
Brendan, where's
Brendan.
Trisha, out of the way.
Hello, darling. Brendan. Brendan.
Where's Melanie?
Look at me, Rachel. Brendan.
Brendan, where's Melanie?
Brendan. Brendan. Baba. Here we are.
Rachel? Rachel, you're a plane.
Brendan.
Hey! Oh. God, you're a plane.
Mad.
Hi, girls.
What's you doing behind there?
Hi, girls. Well, well, well. The sprint race of Richmond 84. And there we have Richmond Jail, hated Richmond Jail. And in the background there, the oldest Catholic church in Australia. Beautiful old hotel, mate. Here we are in the beautiful Huon Valley. The apple growing centre of Australia. And here's Tassie and Chris-Anne. Hi.
About to steal an apple.
What's that like? Well, give Chris-Anne a bit. Chris-Anne.
Coming up now.
Look at this beautiful orchard right on the river. Here we are just beyond Southport, which is the southerly most inhabited town in Australia. And up the peninsula. Behind us is a concrete burial ground. Here we are at Research Bay, Tassie just going into the public toilets here. As you can see, it's a little bay at the top of the Huon River, and it was first discovered by a French expedition headed by Strexko. And this area nearby is as far south as you can get in Australia by road. This is a road, and there's a camping area just up ahead. It's not really inhabited the year round. This is where the French expedition stopped and got some water. We'll go down and have a look. Hi there, Dal. Ta-ta. A beautiful spot. This is a road we go along to down the peninsula. As you can see, it's very thick forest. This area is a gateway to the southwest walking areas. It's beautiful thick forest in here. Hi there. Here we are on the bridge over the Catamaran River. It really is southwest Tasmania country. Hi there. There's the train. Let's go and have a look at the bay now, Trish. Trish and Chris Ann, is it a bit cold here today? Here we are at the jetty. Beautiful limestone all over the road. As you can see, the jetty's not in tip-top condition. Here we are in the rainforest going to Hastings Cave. The particular cave we're going to is the Newdigate Cave, which is supposed to be very nice. This is very deep rainforest. How's Chris Ann, Trish? Hi, gals.
Oh, hello, Daddy.
How you going?
We're off to the caves.
This is Dover, also on the far south coast. We're going up the coast, and it's a beautiful rolling hills. At the moment we've got all these wonderful autumn colours of the trees. Beautiful countryside. What a beautiful little house. Hi girls. Bit cold today?
A little.
Okay. Well, we're going to have get some food. Here we are in Strawn, on our way to catch a boat up to Franklin, up to Gordon to the Franklin River. And here they are, the two girls, rigged up. You can see it's not a very nice day today.
Hello, Daddy.
Hi there.
Here we are at Strawn.
I asked one of the locals how long it had been raining. He said he didn't know, he'd only lived here for 40 years. There's the old Hamer's Hotel. There's the old car. There's Joan Franklin, that's the fastest jet boat on the river, that's the one we're taking.
Population of 356, 294, that number of convicts, and there's 27 Christians on there, brick and clean stone buildings. Set up their camp for their construction workforce, and about 90 men working here at the time of the decision to stop the dam. And that road you'll see in a moment goes 6 kilometres upstream of the dam site. The hydro said that if they had gone ahead with the dam, the road they would have established a link between this road you can see on the left and the Crotty Road, which is on the eastern side of Queenstown. Runs up the Lyle Highway, just east of Queenstown. Tree lines had to be around 800 or 900 years old. The Franklin River is only half a mile from here, on our right.
It's too rough today to go up any further. wilderness just next to Strawn, having a little bushwalk. Look at this beautiful little creek. And look at this lovely girl by the creek. How you going, darling?
Good, thanks. How are you going with the sand on your back?
They're great. Want to take a photo of us?
I will. Here we are on our way to the Hogarth Falls in Strawn.
Oh, Sam, she loves
And
riding
there's
on the back.
Suzanne.
Little stream we got. Okay. Here we are at the Hogarth Falls. Hi, Chrissy.
It's raining, Con.
Sure.
Here we are, the Hogarth Falls. And it's starting to pour rain.
This is a view as you come into Queenstown. You can see the bare eroded hills all around, contrasted with the green hills nearby. Been eroded by 4 factors. The timber getting for the coal smelters, the sulphur fumes, the heavy rainfall, and fire, bushfire. Amazing sight, these hills. Here we are leaving Queenstown. This is the road we take out. Amazing sight. Who have we here? Tricia and Chris Ann. Hi, girls.
Hello.
Oh. Chris Ann, hi there. What an amazing trip up, eh? Here we are at the Franklin River. Let's have a look at it. Here we are, autumn in Hobart, and we're up on the Mount Nelson signal station, looking down this beautiful view of the casino and the Tasman Bridge in Hobart City. And here we have Derwent Harbour, with Howrah in the background. looking across right in the distance there at Port Arthur and the Tasman Peninsula. There are two girls here. Hi, Christine.
Hello, Daddy.
That's the signal station. There's Bruny Island in the background and the channel, and the Tasman Peninsula behind that. This is where the boats come in from Sydney to Hobart. They enter there, and they come around the corner. Right on that point is where the two yachts, Condor and Nirvana, clashed in Sydney to Hobart, and Nirvana was disqualified. We were standing right here and saw it happen. Beautiful sight. Here's Mount Wellington. As you can see, looks right down on Hobart. It only takes about 20 minutes to get up to the top by car. Here we are in the beautiful Franklin Square in the middle of Hobart, and these wonderful autumn colours. Here we are, next to the statue of Governor Franklin.
Look at a con, look at a con.
Constitution dock. Beautiful little boat that's in it. On New Year's Eve, this is the greatest place in Hobart. In fact, it's the greatest place in the whole of Australia. It's all the boats from the city to Hobart and city to Melbourne here. Behind us is Salamanca. We'll go to Salamanca now and have a look. This cobblestone street is Salamanca Place. One of the oldest parts of Hobart. Right next to Constitution Dock. On Saturday, this is a very big bustling market. On Sundays, it's pretty quiet. Some little shops on the other side of the road. Interesting little places. Here we are behind the Supreme Courts, and there's a whole lot of old headstones from graves here, dating back to 1805. Interesting, Trish?
Yeah, they are interesting.
Look at this beautiful big leaf. And look who's behind it. Hi, Dal. Whoa, there it goes. Okay. Here we are in Battery Point, and this is Arthur's Circle. All these quaint little houses, dating back to the mid-1800s. Oh yes. And there we have it, the full circle. And above, Mount Wellington, of course. Here we are in beautiful Battery Point. It's some of the nicest old antique shops in a very old part of town. Hey girls. Let's go. Beautiful autumn leaves falling off the tree. Well, look at this. A beautiful bedroom. She didn't like the car. Here we are, still in Beckery Point. With a view of the harbour as well. Two girls. The Church of St George. Here we are looking up Sandy Bay, up towards the casino, and above it, signal station in Mount Nelson. Here we are, winter of 1984, and we're going to one of the 3 Royal Tennis Courts in Australia. Hi. Hi, Chrisanne. Here we are in Davey Street. Here we are driving up the main driveway to Mrs. Casimati's farm called Stockman, just outside Kempton. This beautiful tree-lined thing here, driveway. And Sam, there's Jim and Margaret trying to run me down. Okay, we'll go. Here's Mrs. Casimatis. We're going off to look at the lambs. Oh, right. Okay.
Come on.
No. And here the Marcoses? Hi there.
You wait, come on. Here. Con, what am I calling Con for?
Brendan, hello, darling.
She's very happy.
Stop it. Yeah, he's laughing. Here you go.
Oh.
All right.
Wave it.
Well.
Yeah.
Con, he always does that to me.
Off. Okay. Look, someone's got to grab him.
Oh, we
I
won't
won't hurt him. Grab him. Pick him up. That's it. Hang on while I get it. Well, they're little.
It's a lamb, darling. Little lambsy. Little lambsy.
Okay.
We're going to take it back to its mummy in a minute, isn't it?
Hop down here.
We're going to take it back to its mummy.
Here's a little lamb.
Little lambsy.
What's wrong, eh?
Little lambsy.
What's wrong with you?
He's all right.
What's
It
wrong
won't
with you?
hurt.
He won't hurt
It's
him.
all right, darling.
Oh, look at that
It's
lamb.
fine, little lamb. See, he's happy just sitting there. Oh, you great thing. Don't box him.
Look at him.
Touch him, Chris Ann.
It's a little lamb, darling. Little lamb. What's the matter? Why are you upset, darling?
She wants to
Tell
hold
Mummy
him.
and Mummy will tell you what's wrong.
She wants
What's the
to hold him.
matter?
Do you want to hold him, mate?
If there's something wrong, tell me and I'll be able to tell you if it's... Don't worry about him, he's
Oh, little
fine.
lammy.
What's wrong? Oh, darling, he
He
hasn't
hasn't
lost
lost his mum.
His mummy's over there. We're going to take him to his mummy. He hasn't lost his mummy, darling.
This is their property.
Here's his mum. He's a worry about the sheep.
Beautiful countryside, isn't it, Jim?
It's lovely. Lovely.
Isn't he lovely? He loves to be with us. He loves. He's not frightened. He's not trying to get away, is he? He loves Mum getting in the car.
Here they are.
Bam, 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 bam.
Trishy's got a farm t-shirt on with a sheep on it.
Oh, yes.
Jumper.
Chris Ann's walking well now.
Sprinting.
Yep. Where's that other little lamb got to?
Got plenty of time.
He's disappeared.
He really is calling out, isn't he?
Here we are. He's a lovely little sheep, Chris Ann. To feed him some grass.
He wants his mummy's milk.
Does he? Doesn't he eat grass?
No, he's too little. Isn't he, Tassie? The poo-poo.
Gee, he's not very big, is he?
No, he's only a little baby. Here comes Jim and Mark.
Oh, good. Here they come. They had to make an emergency stop. But they're back with us now. Don't let him go, Trishy. Ooh. Trishy, show us your jumper. Yep. Show us the sheep on your jumper. You've got 2 sheep on your jumper now. Is he nice?
Lovely.
Is he settled down now? Is he still a bit upset? Good.
Just like I have. You won't
Have a pat of him, Rach.
Did you?
This is...
sheep. Lambs.
He's a nice little lamb, isn't he?
Lambsy.
Here we are at the Aussie Rules, and it's the Escort Shield final between Queensland and Tasmania. Cassandra, very interested spectator. Trishy knows a lot about the game. Randall and Norm. Norm's got here around Hendricks. There you go. Queensland, of course, is ahead. Just have a look at the score. And there's the score after the first quarter. Queensland 23, Tassie 15. Queensland boys. And it's top road.
Here's Connor Hussain at the football. Reading the program.
Big Charles. Queensland have dropped back. Get up.
Bye-bye.
Here's the final score. Queensland with the Escort Shield. We're just going to get a goal. Here we are, there's Makey Marcos. And we're at Mount Field in July. And there's a little bit of snow. There's a couple of guys skiing. Jim in his new outfit.
Putting chains on his car. It's dirty.
Business leads to what,
Marg. And we're off tobogganing to the top. Let's
Trish
go.
in her beautiful outfit there, very nice.
This is what the ladies are wearing in ski gear.
Beautiful, beautiful view. It's not quite enough snow today as we'd like it, but still, we'll proceed up the top. It's a tough climb.
Here we go.
Here we go. Off you go, Trish.
Wait for me, Mark.
I'll take over from this one.
All right, mate. Just
Turn the rock.
and then just briefly. So I left it on for you. There you go.
And trekking up the mountain. It is a long trek. Can you see it all the way up there? It's a long way. There he is, the man of the moment, up close.
Let's go, Hillary.
Ready to trek up the mountain. Here we go up there now. I was just going to work out how to turn it off, Colin.
Right in the front there.
Here we are, just about on top of Mount Field. Jim and Mike, whoa. I've just found a little Tassie devil down a hole there.
They're being Tassie devils.
Did you capture what my hand was doing this?
No. And here we have the car park. That's where we walk from, and the frozen lake. That's a long way down. Only light snow today. We're above the clouds. And here we are. The work was worth it.
Leonie and Jack.
Yeah.
Leonie and Nick, I mean. He went up this great big
It's just for the drink.
The day we made that.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Hey, Tricia's having. All right, off you go. Whoa. And she's had a fall.
So we went right down there.
How was that?
Went right down.
All right, going off you go now. Jim's packing the snow in. He's doing a great job. Here comes Mike.
Wow. Ah, supposed to go over there.
Tricia, how did you do that before? That was really clever.
Ready?
Right, off you go.
Watch out, I'm going to come through there. Woo! Oh, no! Woo!
Tricia moves so fast because she's so fat.
Come on.
One of those shacks down there belongs to the hospital. Hospital shack. Okay, come on, girls. Mate, you're trying to knock me over. Hang on. Right.
Oh. Here she comes. Speedy! Ay, 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 ay! Watch out! She's done it again!
Great effort, Trish.
You keep going.
Okay, Jim. Blast through, mate.
Fizzer.
I'll show you how to do it.
Can you give me the video? Here's Connor Groney going for the big ski. Didn't last too long. Come on, Jim, show him how it's done. Not too good, Con. Hello, Marg. Here we are, higher than the clouds. And people skiing over there. Here he goes again. Okay. Come on, Margie, get on there and do a ski. Do a toboggan. That's right. Hang on, just wait a minute, Marg. Don't go yet. Here she goes.
Okay.
There's Mount Wellington in the distance. We're on top of Mount Field. And we're looking to the southwest. And Lake Pedder's just underneath all that cloud below us, more or less. Right. There's Margie Marcos again. There's Mount Wellington again. An icy wind blowing. There's some people skiing. Not much snow. There's the road we came in on. Here, two skiers.
Here come the Marcoses. What a great run from the Marcoses. Okay, Trish, let's see your style.
Here's Jim and Con. Okay, fellas. Go, fellas, go. Come on, Jim. Ray! Hi, Marg! Marg!
Here come Jim and Trish,
Pear brain pear.
piling on the speed.
Hey!
Whoa! Boy, were they moving. Here we are on the shores of a frozen Lake Dobson, which is up on top of Mount Peel.
Splash, splash, you splash,
Splash,
splash, splash,
We're up and logging.
splash, splash.
Kids are getting ready. We're off skiing.
Come on, splash,
Just
splash.
staying, but there's Julie all decked out.
Good morning. Splash, splash. Good morning. Splash, splash, splash. Is there more swimming? Swimming. Oh, you used to swim too. You want to like to swimming?
She lies on the tummy. Have a swim.
Like this. Boom, boom. Swim,
Kick your
swim.
legs.
Swim, swim, splash, 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 boy. Come on. Yay, we're off. Hey, boom. Hey.
Trish is not coming today, are you, Trish?
No, I've got a sore
She's got a sore knee from yesterday. So it means you and Margaret are off.
Come on, I'll get you out
Okay.
That's what's the bottom there.
Top. Beautiful, beautiful. Unreal. Okay. Here's Chrisanne and Trish. We're just starting off on our trip around Tasmania, and we're on the east coast inside the Freycinet Peninsula. And there we are looking out on the peninsula, which is across the way. And there's the blue waters. There's the start of the peninsula out there. As you can see, it's beautiful weather. Very inviting. But the water's just a bit too cold for us today. And this is Spiky Bridge, which, as you can see, was built by the convicts back in the good old days. And you can see why it is in fact called Spiky Bridge. Very nasty indeed. Quite a few murders occurred on this bridge. And here the girls are just about to try out to see just how sharp these spikes are. Chrisanne might even have a sit on one for us. No, didn't like that spike very much. Looking over towards Coles Bay in the background. Once again, there is the Freycinet Peninsula, where we're, which is our first stop. And there's some of the beautiful mountains you can see in the background. Beautiful green countryside. It's
We've had a bit of wet weather recently, and that's why everything's nice and green. And there's the mountains again, all those mountains over there are called the hazards. Now here we have arrived at the chateau at Coles Bay, and this is the view from our little cottage. And as you can see, it's a very nice little view from our cottage, looking out across the bay. We're right directly below the hazards we're situated, and we've got our own little cottage here with our own open fireplace looking out over the bay. Beautiful spot. There's a beach just below us. We might have a stroll along that beach later tonight. And that's looking back up towards where we're situated in the chateau. There's the first of the hazards, these beautiful granite mountains which are situated directly above us. We've got to climb up between two of those mountains tomorrow to the saddle and down to Wineglass Bay on the other side. I think this is the view from the dining room where we're going to have our meal. It's a beautiful night here. That's where we'll have dinner tonight, looking out over the bay. And this is on the other side of the bay, looking back across towards the chateau and the hazards. The girls are just having a bit of stroll on the rocks here. And there's a chateau there in the background. That's looking along the Coles Bay village itself with the little wharf and so forth. Yes, we can highly recommend the chateau. Beautiful place. Girls there. I ought to be a bit careful, eh? Those rocks look pretty slippery out there. Chris Ann's very happy with Coles Bay. Enjoying it very much. She's so happy she doesn't want to leave. Now here we've climbed up to the saddle. We've just started on our hike and it's been quite a stiff climb up to the saddle, and now we're looking out down on Wineglass Bay on the other side. As you can see, it's shaped like a big wine glass. Beautiful beach. In fact, the Royal Yacht Britannia anchored in there, and the Queen and Prince Charles had a picnic on the beach there a few years back. I've climbed up to a little lookout on top of the saddle. That's looking up to one of the hazards, and the girls are down below there somewhere. I think they're feeding a kangaroo at the moment
there down below. There they are. How are you, Trish? Yes, it was a bit hard of a climb to get right up to the top here, on top of these boulders. So we'll continue on our walk now. It's going to be a 6-hour hike. But we've got a little backpack to carry Chrisanne in, and the people at the Shadow packed us a lunch. And we're going to plan to have a picnic lunch down on Wineglass Bay, and then walk back along the front. And here we found a little kangaroo and Joey. Just up on the saddle here. She came along just to say hello to us. A lot of animal life along this track. We stumbled across a big snake on the way up. Looked like a big brown snake. But as soon as he saw me, he took off. Very wise snake. Here's the old pack. Yeah, I'm looking particularly fit at the moment, as you can see. And we're off to Wineglass Bay. It will take about half an hour to get down there from the top of the saddle, but it's going to be a pretty steep descent. Here we've come most of the way down. Quite a nice beach, and here we are down on the beach, and it's a beautiful spot, alright. Just a spot for a picnic lunch. And here the girls are eating up. Chrisanne doesn't like sand on her hands very much. The bay looks a little bit like Alexandria Bay at Noosa. But the water's not quite as warm as it is up there. Yes, the girls are having a good time, alright. They don't realise it's about 4 hours walk home. You girls had enough or what? Gee whiz. And here's another one of these critters. They seem to be everywhere around this area. This one hopped down to us on the beach. Here's Trish going to come and scare him away now. Here mate, have a bit of this. Whoa. Righto, it's time we got back now. This is the big hazard swamp we're walking through here. Very slushy area, and there's a few black swans swimming in the swamp. We have to walk past this big area before we get round back to the other side where the hazards are, and back along the beach. Lots of wildflowers in bloom around this area. In fact, the whole countryside is in bloom. Here we've come back to the inland side of Coles Bay now. We've walked right across the Hazards Marshes, and we're back to the beach on the other side, and it's much warmer on this side, very protected from the winds. And we just walked through this big Aboriginal midden. You can see all the Aboriginal shells there that have been left behind. At this point we thought we were almost home, but we saw a sign that said it took us another 2 hours to get back to Coles Bay, so it's still a fair walk around the back here. Still, it was a beautiful walk along this coast. Very protected waters. We thought we'd just have a breather for a few minutes here. Chrisanne insisted on resting. A few spots of rain too, I think. We're still about an hour from home. Let's just hope it doesn't come down in torrents. Here we are, we finally made it back to the car. And boy, oh boy, there's not another heap of kangaroos to greet us. They're coming from everywhere. They've all got joeys too. Yep, they're still coming. And here we are just outside Coles Bay, and we're just below the lighthouse which guards this peninsula from the local shipping. And there's the Tasman Sea, and that's looking back along the front towards Wineglass Bay, which is just in that recess round the front there. There it is, you can just see the beach. That's where the Britannia sailed through, anchoring inside there. Here's the back of the Hazards. The girls are just getting a bit of a suntan up there, I think. Pretty precipitous drop down there. Whoops, nearly fell over. And this is a little beach called Bluestone Beach, which is just a bit further south. And that's why it's called Bluestone Beach, all these round blue boulders. Very nice spot. It's even got a bit of surf. We might even take a few of these boulders back to Brisbane with us, I think. It's just bloody slow. Here we are, and we've come to our second port of call up the coast, and we're at Bicheno, which is a seaside resort halfway up the east coast. It's a lovely warm spot. Beautiful blue water. Girls are just going down for a little walk on the rocks and the beach down there. The water looks very inviting, but it's pretty cold out there. I don't see too many people swimming. Little island out the front there is supposed to be a big penguin colony, but unfortunately it's very hard to get out there. Here's Chrisanne, she's got her shoes off and she's really enjoying the sand here. Real Gold Coast conditions. Yes, the girls have really let their hair down here, as you can see. Yes. Here we are at a little wildlife park outside Missionary. Just saying hello to a few of the local animals. We've seen this fellow before. And his mate. Local bird life. Very attractive. There's lots of swans in Tasmania. You see them on most of the inland lakes. Particularly Penstock Lagoon, where I do a lot of fishing. There's a big swan colony there. You have to be very careful you don't hook the swans with your fly hooks. Mother and daughter swan and mother and daughter arani. There he is, the ugly duckling. These fellows look like they've just had a big feed. Here's some beautiful rosellas. Magnificent colours. is, a little Tasmanian devil. There aren't any of these in Queensland. This fella's particularly thirsty. As you can see, they're pretty stumpy little creatures. They've got a big head on them like a dog, haven't they? Very strong jaws, and they can be quite aggressive. Here we are at the blowhole, which is outside Bicheno, but as you can see at the moment there isn't a lot blowing. Pretty calm conditions today. There's a little one. Little blow out the back there. And also is a balancing rock there. Actually moves slowly with the tide backwards and forwards. And this little park here at Bicheno. And here it is, it's dedicated to Wabba, who was a famous Aboriginal heroine who saved the lives of two drowning white men. I've erected a grave to her here. This is in the big aquarium in Bicheno here too, and there's some seahorses here. The fellows again in focus, here he is, having a little swim around. And here we are on this old ship here, which is also on the beach at Bicheno, called the Enterprise, which has been pulled up here and restored. It's one of the old Tasmanian schooners that used to transport a lot of materials around the coastal Tasmania. Quite a beautiful old ship. Now here we are outside St Helens, and this is these are the St Columba's Falls. You're just walking along a track for about 15 minutes, and we're looking up at the falls. They're pretty impressive. They fall about 150 metres. Yes, the girls are very impressed. A lot of water down there. Yeah, that's water. Yeah. This place is about 20 miles inland from St Helens, deep into the rainforest in the northeast of Tasmania. St Helens is a big fishing port on the top of the east coast. There's the old faithful car. This is just outside St Helens. It's a small beach, coastal village, and it certainly is a very pretty little spot. It's also probably one of the warmer spots in Tasmania. Yes, Binalong Bay is the name of this little spot. Apparently there's quite good surf fishing along the front here and along the bay further up. Yeah, we've driven a little bit further north up the coast from Binalong Bay. That little spot there is called the Skeleton. That's Skeleton Rock. Now this area is a little bit south of Binalong Bay then from St Helens, and it's the area called the Gardens, which is a very beautiful beach. And we're just up on a little bit of a rise up here, and here a lot of the abalone divers live, and they've built these beautiful shacks looking out on the water. Most unusual places. Up on a magnificent view. Doesn't seem to be anybody home at the moment. There's even some coral reef down there on those in those rocks, I believe. And there's the Garden Surf Beach. we've travelled north from St Helens now, right on the top of Tasmania, northeast coast, and this is a place called Bridport. And that's Bass Strait, of course. And it certainly is a very placid Bass Strait today. Quite a pleasant little spot, actually. We've just driven through the northeast, past Piper's Brook Vineyard. And we'll soon catch up with the Tamar River and back into Launceston. Here we are at Bell Bay, which is a main shipping terminus on the Tamar River. And there's also a big aluminium, Kamalka aluminium plant here as well. It's a very big deep water port. Here's the aluminium plant. And this is right at the mouth of the Tamar River. This is called Georgetown, and this is a little park right at the mouth of the Tamar River. There's the mouth of the river. It's a big, beautiful river. And there's a memorial here to the first settlement made in northern Tasmania. It was from this area that Batman first settled, and from here he went across and settled Melbourne. And here's a bridge that was named after Batman, the Batman Bridge. Very impressive. And it's the largest one of its type in the world. Girls just stretching their legs for a few minutes. And here's the Tamar River as it winds its way down towards Launceston. This is just a lookout on top of a ridge there, looking down on the Tamar. Beautiful rolling pastures on the other side of the river. Looking right down in the distance towards the outer suburbs of Launceston. There they are. Here we are in Launceston, and it's peach blossom time, so just look at these magnificent peach blossoms. And look at these two peachy girls here. These trees at the moment are absolutely loaded with blossoms. And this is just at the Pennyroyal gunpowder mill in the background. There's the old mill in there that's been restored. And here's a Lady Stelfox and the old paddle steamer that goes up the Cataract Gorge, and we're just about to go for a trip up the Tamar and then up the gorge. And to today is the opening day of the yachting season on the Tamar, so there's quite a few yachts out today. In fact, it's a bit of an obstacle course managing to get up the river. I think the girls would rather be out there on one of the yachts. And here we are heading back towards the famous Cataract Gorge on the Tamar River. And we have to first sail underneath the old bridge. There's the part of the bridge that's now in use, and the old bridge is further up, and that's heading up towards the gorge. The paddle steamer is ideal in this sort of situation because it can turn around very easily. And let's see, as far up as we can get. And that's the view looking down towards the bridge. Here we are in the actual reserve, and we're actually at the kiosk looking down on the lake area above the gorge. Very beautiful area, very well designed. And we're standing on the top of the suspension bridge here, looking up the very high part of the gorge, and Chris Ann has decided to go for a run on the bridge. Oops. Yes, it's a beautiful day. Not much water coming down the gorge at the moment, but a few weeks ago it was a raging torrent down through here the last time we were up. bridge is about 80 years old. We've come outside Launceston now, and this is Tassie House, which is an old historic homestead, which is about 25 miles west of Launceston, and it's one of the most well preserved large homesteads in Tasmania. In fact, the owner of this house went on to become governor of the state for a period. And these are some of the beautiful indoor plants in one of the greenhouses there. Christiane is very taken with these flowers. In fact, she likes to smell each and every one of them. Some of the old coaches and old prams and so forth that are still preserved there. And here's a washing machine that Trish is demonstrating for you. Seems to be in good working condition. Tricia uses a similar one at our place in Onslow Place at Mount Nelson. And a few of the local inhabitants. They look very contented. This funny looking monstrosity here was one of the first wheat threshers to appear in Australia. It's a very odd looking contraption. Milk and sugar, yeah. There's a little village just outside Tassie House. Beautiful, quaint little church.
And here we are at Evandale, which is south of Launceston, which is a beautiful old colonial village. Beautiful old houses, craft shops, antique shops, Devonshire teas, old churches. This is Clarendon House, which is one of the more beautiful old colonial homesteads. This is also south of Launceston near Evandale, and very distinctive Corinthian columns. Beautiful surrounding grounds as well. The grounds extend for miles around. Now we've left Launceston. We're on the way to Cradle Mountain, and this is a place called Paradise, named for obvious reasons. And there's a huge flock of geese that's just taken off from the lake and is winging along there. Lots of sheep, very rich grazing and sheep country. Right above us are the steep cliffs of the central escarpment. There's a little nest there with some eggs in it. There's even an egg floating in the water next to that duck. Hundreds of sheep on the other side of the lake there. We've late in the afternoon, and we've arrived at beautiful Cradle Mountain on the shores of Dove Lake, which is in the northern central highlands of Tasmania. There's a very distinctive Cradle Mountain. There's a bit of snow on board. October and there's snow, but if you think there's some snow there now, I think we're in for a bit of a shock about tomorrow. There's a saddle of the cradle. That's where we plan to walk to tomorrow. You have to, when you go on hikes in this area, you have to go very warmly dressed because it can blow up into blizzard conditions in half an hour. We plan to go for a short walk this afternoon to the fisherman's hut. There's Trish and Chris Ann who've just gone for a wander along the side of the lake. There's beautiful Cradle Mountain. Some of the local wildlife. We seem to attract them. I think the girls really like to feed the kangaroos. Seems wherever we go in Tasmania we're met by kangaroos. There's the crystal clear waters of Dove Lake. Chris and myself enjoying the view here. Beautiful spot. We're going to have a little fly fishing here tonight. I believe they catch a few trout in there. Yes, we certainly are enjoying the view here. Chrisanne well rugged up, as you can see. Although it's quite a beautiful afternoon. And we're just walking up towards the fisherman's hut, which is the site of many a photograph at Cradle Mountain. Hardly a wisp of wind here this afternoon, just beautiful still conditions. Got the beach all to ourselves too. We just left Cradle just to go back to our chalet, and here we are at Waltime on the way back, and we've been mobbed by a whole group of kangaroos who are very hungry. So Tricia's just opened up a whole packet of arrowroot biscuits to feed the mob. This funny looking fellow here is a very odd looking kangaroo he is. Not sure how many there are. I think there's even one in the back seat of the car with Chrisanne. Well, I think we just ran out of arrowroot biscuits. They're going to have to go elsewhere. This is the feeding time at the Pencil Pine Lodge where we're staying at Cradle Mountain. And as you can see, the proprietors put out all the leftover food and vegetables. And the first animals that arrive are the kangaroos and the possums. They're all possums there amongst all the leftovers. There's a group of us waiting for the Tassie devil to come out. When he comes out, he scares away all the other animals. There's a group of us inside there. It's pretty cold outside. In fact, they predict a snowfall tonight. We'll just have to wait and see. This little fellow here has arrived as one of the native cats. You can see the little spots on him. A little bit hard to see, but he's a very beautiful little fellow. A marsupial native cat. All the possums have left, and he's just arrived to have a few of the morsels. Certainly feed everybody up very well here at Pencil Pine Lodge. We had a beautiful dinner tonight. And here the Tassie devil has arrived. All the possums took off as soon as he arrived, and he's hopping into everything by himself. He's not a very sociable character. Well, here's the next morning at Pencil Pine Lodge, and this is the sight we're met with. There's my beautiful car, and I don't know that I'll ever get him out of there. The other cars don't look much better. It's been snowing steadily all night, and they tell me that about 3 foot of snow fell over most of the country, and it's still falling today. And we were going to go bushwalking today up to the cradle. Somehow I don't think we're going to get there. We might just have to spend a relaxing day inside. Boy, oh boy, I hope my antifreeze is working. Well, there's the open fire. I think we'll just spend a nice quiet day relaxing in front of the fire. There's a photograph of the cradle mount. And there's our dinner. A couple of the other guests there. One thing about this place, the food is delicious. Here's the view outside, white everywhere. In fact, we're so isolated nobody can get through. They're going to have to send a snowplow in tomorrow to shift the snow out. No cars have been able to get through all day. There's the chalet. I decided to clean a bit of the snow off the car and try and have a little drive back to Cradle Mount to see what she looks like. We'll see how we go. I managed to get back my car out of there, I'm not sure how. Well, we've got as far as the bridge, which is just below the chalet, and the car won't go any further. And there's a little waterfall on the bridge. I tried to get up that rise, but the car wouldn't get up there. And it's still snowing. There's a car, just about bogged. And there's a chalet. I only got about 100 yards down the road. So, we're back inside. Trishy's writing some letters back home, in front of the fire. There's the old guitar, playing a few songs. And there's the beautiful open fireplace. Watch out, Trish, watch out, Christine, don't lean towards the fire. Ooh, beautiful warm fireplace. They're very comfortable chairs too. They come very well prepared up at the chalet. Here's the next morning. Here's a snowplough coming to get us out. There'd be no way we'd be able to get back without this fellow. He's got the grader apparatus on the back of him, and he's clearing the way. And you can see there's a line of about 10 cars following him in. I've cleaned all the snow off my car, and we'll just see if we can back him out of there. Because it's been snowing pretty heavily overnight again. Here he comes, our saviour. exactly where we were staying, on the top left-hand side of the chateau. And here's a snowman we built. Quite an attractive looking fellow. Looks a bit like Trish actually. Yeah, we're on the road on the northwest coast, and we're going towards Stanley and Smithton, and we're travelling through some beautiful grazing and sheep country. It's a very rich country up here. It's the richest part of the state. Beautiful rolling hills. And the weather's been pretty good, as you can see. No snow down here, that's for sure. This rather attractive little beach is called Boat Harbour. Very pleasant little fishing village. Popular tourist resort. This is down at Boat Harbour. And there's a boat that the harbour is named after. Bassdrake once again very quiet. And it's looking westward towards up the west coast, towards Stanley. And this is Stanley, and that large volcanic mountain is called the Nut. It was named by Matthew Flinders when he circumnavigated Tasmania and proved that it was an island separate from Australia. And the Nut is meant to be the core of a ancient volcano. And there's some very beautiful historic homes just beneath the Nut. This particular one belonged to Joseph Lyons, who became Prime Minister of Australia. And it's directly underneath the Nut. This big old building there was a Van Diemen's Land Company, which was a trading company, whose centre port was here at Stanley. And this is what remains of the port at Stanley. It's a pretty quiet old port nowadays. This is our view looking down on Stanley from a lookout above it. tried to climb up on top of the nut. It was really blowing very hard this day, and would have got blown off, I think. These are some old ruins that exists. Yeah, west of the nut, looking towards it from the other direction. Yeah, we're on our way deep into the forests of the northwest. This is the top part of the Arthurs River, which is one of the remaining wild rivers of the west coast. Yes, Chris Ann's very impressed with that. We're going to travel deep into the jungle here, near the Arthurs River, to one of the natural lakes in here called Lake Chisholm. We'll have a little picnic in there for the day. Pretty dense forest down there. This is prime logging and timber country, and none of this area is national park, and there's a very prolific timber and logging trade. On the way to Lake Chisholm we came across this big huge fallen log, but luckily there's a timber fellow in the car behind us, and he just got his chainsaw out and chopped the wood off, so we got straight through. And here we are at Lake Chisholm, deep in the bush. We had to walk about 20 minutes to get to this spot. It's a beautiful little lake. It's supposed to be one of the largest platypus colonies in Australia in this lake, and certainly there's lots of platypus holes around the lake. Haven't seen any platypuses here yet, but I believe there's a lot about. I saw a platypus up on Penstock Lagoon when I fished there last. Here's Chris Ann, well behaved as usual, keeping an eye out for platypuses. Here's a platypus hole. Well, there's in fact a couple of platypus holes there. The bank is full of these holes. Not easy to carry, I'll tell you. She weighs a few pounds, does Chris Ann, but she's worth the effort. Here we've crossed over the Arthurs River. This is one of the tiny little one-lane bridges that crosses over the Arthurs River. Doesn't look very stable, does it? I believe it gets washed away every summer with the rains. This is looking down on Duck Bay, which is just next to Smithton, where we're staying on the northwest. And Duck Bay is, of course, one of the prime dairy centres in Tasmania. There's also the biggest oyster bed in Australia, I'm told, out at Duck Bay. So we're going to have some fresh oysters for dinner tonight. Here are the oyster beds. Just looking out to some of the islands in the northwest, 3 Hummock Island and a few of the other islands. Now we've taken a detour off the main road, and these are the Dip Falls on the Dip River. And they're a very spectacular sight, aren't they? The Dip Falls are fairly close to Stanley. They're 20 miles or so inland from the main road, just before the Stanley turn-off in the northwest. And then you have to follow a walking track and then come down about 350 steps till you get to the bottom of the falls. This end certainly has seen a few waterfalls in the past few weeks. Now we've come to another set of waterfalls here, and these are called the Liffey Falls, and these are on the way to Great Lake. And Liffey Falls occur in about 3 or 4 cascades. This is the first of the cascades, and you follow a walking track down each one of the cascades. There's the main cascades of the Liffey Falls. These falls are on the escarpment of the Central Highlands on the way up to Great Lake. And this is on top of the escarpment now, looking down on the plains. As you can see, the country has changed somewhat. It's become rather barren up here. We're once again at a fair old altitude. And we expected there might be a little bit of snow up here after the snow that we saw at Cradle Mountain. Here looking down on the northern plains there from the escarpment. And here we are at the northern end of Great Lake, which is one of the major trout fisheries in the Central Highlands. It's quite a huge expanse of water. There was an original small lake here, and with the hydroelectric commission damming of these areas, all these lakes have been greatly enlarged. There it is, one of the biggest rainbow trout fisheries in the world. And sure enough, there's some snow up here. Luckily, Trici's not a very good shot. Very barren alpine country up in these Central Highlands. And this is dawn over Great Lake. Just thought I'd get a few shots before I went fishing. I'm about to go fishing at Little Pine Lagoon. Little spot of fly fishing. I didn't manage to hook any up at Cradle Mountain. Here I am just coming out of the water. Now we've come down off the Central Highlands here, and we're at Ross, which is one of the historic towns on the Midlands Highway between Hobart and Launceston. And this is one of the very old historic bridges at Ross, built in 1836. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's actually a very hot day, and there's not a wisp of wind at all. Now this is a view from the bridge at Ross, and just look at the reflection in the water there. Absolutely perfect reflection. Like a picture postcard. There's some of the old buildings near Ross. This is the old church up on the hill, a very beautiful old church. Yep. What a beautiful little village, Ross. Now this is the central square at Ross, and the four corners that face each other. There's a church, that's called Salvation. There's the hotel, which is Temptation. Across the road is the town hall, and that's called Recreation. And then coming backwards towards the old jail, which is now our little house, and that's Damnation. They're the famous four corners at Ross. Here's my little car parked right next to the jail. And here the girls just enjoying the weather underneath the tree here at Ross. Certainly one of the more beautiful parts of Tasmania. That's it.
Hi girls. Chrisanne, what have you got there?
What's that big thing?
Here we are at O'Reilly's guest house up on the Lamington Plateau, and we've just arrived. Chrisanne's very keen to go for a walk, isn't she, Trish?
She certainly is, Con. Big stick.
There's the guest house. May 85.
Here she is. Quick, Con.
Oh, she's a fast runner. There's Mount Lindsay. Trish is a pretty fast runner too. Whoa!
On the little one now. This is the little one. Little one.
Now she likes the big one.
One. Jump! Oh!
Whoa!
On the little one.
Okay.
Don't, you can't.
No, she only likes the big one.
She was doing it before. You had your chance.
Very good, Chrisanne. You like that?
Yeah.
Why do you like that?
Alright, I'll stand here. You do it again.
Chrisanne, look over here, please.
Look at Daddy. Wave to Daddy.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Not to worry.
Not to worry. Little one.
I think so.
Yeah, the little one's more fun.
Whoa! Mummy help you on the big one?
No, don't. The little one. Okay?
Okay.
Help me.
One, two, three.
What do you say?
Ready?
Set. Go.
That's a bit high, that one. Hop down. That's a good girl.
Yes, you think that's a bit high for her, I think.
Ready, set, go.
Very good. Very pleasant little spot, Trish.
It's beautiful.
Just soaking the sun up.
It's a bit nippy though, the wind.
Set. Go.
Ready, set.
Yeah, the view from our back porch at O'Reilly's. Mount Lindsay. Chris Ann all in her running shoes. We're about to go for a walk now, following the power lines down to Castle Crag. That's where we're going. Up over the rise there. Moonlight Crag lookout. Mountain climber Trish.
Exhausted. No, sit down, just climb up, Con. Just a
Okay.
minute. Mummy will take a photo. Here's Con and Chris Ann at Moonlight Crag. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Chris Ann.
We've had a lovely trip up. Look at these.
Quite exhausting, actually. Don't fall off the edge.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay. This is Balancing Rock. And it's well balanced, as you can see.
Won't budge.
And here's a view across. Look at those power lines going across there, Trish.
Yeah. Spectacular.
Beautiful.
There are waterfalls just down there too.
Is it?
It's beautiful, isn't it, Chris Ann? In a minute.
Down in the gorge there are Moran's Falls. And more magnificent views on the other side. Hi there. Hi, Mum.
Hello. Hi, Chris Ann. Is it good fun there? Yes. Just come round this way.
The rock, Chris Ann. Look at that view.
Rock. Rock.
Big rock, isn't it? Push it over, Chris Ann. Push it. Give it a big push.
Push. Push him off.
Oh, too
Yeah,
too
she
hard.
moved him. She moved the rock.
Yes.
There he goes.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, darling. What a view. It's a long way down there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are at the tip of Castle Crag, and out there is Lost World. Here's a break in the rock where you enter Lost World.
Is Con
Donkey.
and Chrisanne playing donkey.
Whoa, that old Chucky.
On the track going home from Castle Craig Lookout.
Hey, the woman.
Chrisanne,
Oh, mummy,
look.
she's eating a chocolate biscuit. Whoa, the girl.
Do that again.
What?
Okay, we got to head home.
Righto.
Home.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Home is up there.
Bye. Come on.
Here's Con feeding little birds.
Here you go. Yep. Give him more. Give him a bit more. You goodness.
Oh, Con! Oh, one's on my head. Look at Daddy feeding the birds, Chrisanne. You go feed them.
They're not very hungry, are they? Not for us, chocolate biscuits.
Okay. All right.
Hi there.
Here's Con and Chrisanne.
We're at Python Rock here, and we're looking out over Lost World and Castle Craig in the distance. That's where we walked yesterday.
Just that point there.
We're having a lovely walk today. No, we won't fall down.
And Chrisanne and I waited at those rocks over there while Dad walked all the way out to that point.
Yeah.
Just be careful. It's a long way down there.
Okay. Here I am standing on top of Python Rock, looking back towards Moran Falls and over towards Castle Craig where we walked yesterday, out across that ridge, and then the view across into Lost World. It's a fair way down. Hi girls.
Be careful, Dad. Hey, be careful, Dad.
Don't fall. The big python coming up around your feet.
Oh, the girls are having a great time.
Oh, wow. Going to jump off the edge. He's going to jump off.
Yes, Trish, she's sitting on Python Rock.
Long way down there. Magnificent view.
Have a look over the edge, Trish.
There's nothing. If this rock juts out, if this rock went, I'd go with it.
Watch out then.
Unreal. So I'm coming up now.
Okay.
Here we are at Pat's Bluff. Bit windy up here, isn't it? Just make sure it doesn't blow you off down into the valley. Sand.
Here's what the panoramic views are like at Pat's Bluff.
1, 2, 3. Here, another one.
Looking down the Albert and Logan River catchment areas. Lost World and out beyond the Great Dividing Range.
Let me sit down here. There you go. You're okay.
There's a Great Dividing Range in the background.
Sprung up. Here it's settled down now. Hello?
Nice, isn't it?
There you are, look.
There's a line.
It's going to rain soon.
Nah,
It's a
it
bit
won't.
threatening.
No line.
Ooh, it's a bit chilly.
No line.
Sam. Hi.
Hi. Look at Daddy. Look what Daddy's got.
Okay.
Listen, look, airplane. Where's it? Let me put my hands up.
Where are the birdies, Chrisanne? Where's the birdies?
Listen to that wind in the valley. The valley's just down there. Look.
Okay.
Yes.
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 I don't feel nice.
Cheeky girl.
Okay, girls, we might get this act on the track again.
I think we'd better.
Head back.
I think we'd better head back.
Those crowds up there look a bit threatening. Okay, let's pack up our bags.
Let's pack up.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh,
Righto.
bit of a jumping bean, this woman. Look, loves jumping. 1, 2, 3, jump! Hey!
Very good, okay.
Push, Mum. Come on,
Here we
Con.
go. Here are the big peregrine falcons
Oh, look at the big birds.
up there.
That's just to look at.
And here we are at West Cliffs looking back towards Moran Falls and Castle Crag. Here are the power lines we saw going right across the other side.
Yes, in a minute we're going back now.
Okay. Here we are at Lost World, the guest house. We come right down off the plateau and go on along the Bow Desert Road, Mount Lindsay Highway until we've reached this beautiful part of the world. Girls are going to see the cows.